welcome to... What the fuck did I just watch? Hello. Welcome to another Happy Pod. The only podcast or whatever the fuck I usually say. My name is Nathan. As always, I'm joined by some cunt. Say hello.
Oh, right. I know you're in a rush, but there's no need for this. That's rude.
Say hello.
You could have been talking about Catherine there as well. I saved you.
Okay, well, I'm also... You've ruined your chance now. I'm also joined by my lovely guest, Catherine. Hello, Catherine.
Hi.
Hi, tell him to fuck off.
Fuck off.
Very good.
We got you, bitch.
Damn.
Anyway,
Okay.
Lawrence, tell us what this fucking shit show is about.
Nathan, this is the show where every week we get together to discuss something in the realm of pop culture. Could be a movie, could be a telly show, could be a video game, but the main thing is that we do so without any of the toxic discourse that is oh so prevalent these days. That's getting
We'll
speedy.
see about
that is.
that. We'll see about that.
I don't. Oh god, I don't know if I'm more nervous this week. Well, right? We're doing season 2 of Succuli. That's why we're here. Catherine's back. We've strong-armed her into talking about more Succession and watching another show, another season of TV. So thank you for doing that.
Happy to be here. I was very keen to come back.
I hear that, Lawrence, you appeared on a podcast this week, or maybe next week.
It'll be
Monday. It'll be Wednesday when this comes
Oh,
out.
okay.
So we'll talk about that next week.
Or we can... Yeah, I guess. Okay.
We can preemptively plug.
We can tease it.
I'm going to be on a podcast that's coming
Okay.
out fairly soon, but we will talk more about that next week. Nathan, you've already been on said podcast, so maybe you can plug from a long time ago.
I did. I had a great time. It was wonderful. I still know nothing about the show, but it's always good fun.
That's good.
To appear on the coveted Missing Mystic Falls. Anyway, thank you, Catherine, for joining us once again. We are here to discuss Succession Season 2. I fucking hate to say this, Lawrence,
Yeah.
but my God, you were right. This is a good fucking show.
Yeah!
Okay? This is good. It struck me at one point during this season. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, I'm going to have to tell him he's right. No, I don't want to do that. The little cunt's going to be so smug.
I have to be really measured here, because if I overreact, then you'll never do it again.
It's true. I'll never watch anything you ever suggest, and I never do anyway. But it's a good show. I hate it. I finished watching this at the time recording about fucking 10 minutes ago or so, and in the last 5 minutes of that episode, I literally went, "What the fuck?" just at my TV. Okay. It was wild. Anyway.
The definition of plot twist. Catherine, season 2, general thoughts.
Season 2 is so fucking good. I don't think, because I watched it, like I binge watched it the first time, I've not thought about each separate season separately, but this one just like kicks it up a gear. Like we properly get the 3 main kids like tussling for that CEO position, and it's so good to watch.
While Connor's just doing side quests in the background.
Yeah, I do love that they expanded on Connor in a way that was like, no, it wasn't a season 1 gag. He's really trying to be the president this season.
Yeah.
I love season 2. I think season 2 is potentially my favorite season of the whole show. Just because, like,
Interesting.
It kicks off into a different, and that's not to say I dislike any of them. I think they're all.
It sounds like you hate the others, and it's all downhill from here. So maybe I just shouldn't bother.
Yeah, no, maybe we end it. Maybe we cut it off here. We've already hit the highs. No, I think Catherine's got a good point in, like, it is the 3 kids, right? When Shiv enters the fold, it very much becomes, this is kind of this is the dynamic of the show. This is 3 kids desperately wanting to be CEO, aka loved by daddy. And it's like, it's brilliant. Nathan, I don't know if you're aware of this. There's kind of it's not really been like a thing that the showrunners have addressed, but the fans have taken it as season 1 is for Kendall, season 2 is for Shiv, and this is Shiv. This is Shiv's go about. Like, this is Shiv's shot at the top job.
Yeah, I felt that. Season 1 definitely felt like it was focusing on Kendall. And then, yeah, Shiv definitely got a lot more play this season. So, yeah,
Catherine, you've now got to pronounce Shiv wrong, so we can have the trilogy and move on.
I'll just slip it in at one point.
Okay.
There we go.
Good. Nathan, so season 1, you said you were like, it took a while. Maybe it was a slow start to kind of win you over, but it did. You did say you were interested in season 2, like checking it out.
Yeah.
What's the difference? Why is season 2 the best show?
I don't know. I couldn't even tell you. There was just something about it. There was just one moment, and I can't even remember when it was, because I watched it quite sporadically, mostly over the last 2 days. But there was just one moment where I was like, "Fuck, this is good." And maybe it's the little manipulation cliffhanger endings they do, because they do get you.
Oh yeah.
Like every time I'm like, I'll go to bed now, and I'll watch the rest tomorrow. I'm like, fuck, that was good, man. That was good. I wanna see how that's resolved. Spoiler alert, it isn't. Like, I don't know. There's some kind of source. Who's writing this? Who's the team?
So this is mostly Jesse Armstrong, but obviously there is a team of writers. Jesse Armstrong did The Thick of It, Peep Show, Fresh Meat.
Capaldi.
Yeah, so he's I think I haven't seen The Thick of It, but a lot of people say it's like sort of Succession in the UK.
I've seen bits of The Thick of It. It's very funny because The Thick of It, maybe this is a Still Got Legs story, but The Thick of It is like what the 12th Doctor's entire personality was based off before anyone had seen anything of Peter Capaldi. So there was just like,
oh, okay.
Yeah, so everyone just assumed the 12th Doctor would be very shouty and sweary and everything like that, which was quite fun. But yeah, I remember watching a few clips of it around that time, and it's fun. But I've never seen it all the way through.
Catherine, you told me that he penned a few Tracy Beaker.
Tracy Beaker, back in the day. He's followed us our entire lives.
This is some fucking... Oh, fuck, what's that cunt's name? What's the Mad Max guy's name?
The Mad Max guy?
Yeah.
Mel Gibson, Tom Hardy?
No, the guy who writes Mad Max.
Oh, George Miller?
George Miller. This is some George Miller shit, going from Babe to the City to Mad Max. You know? No, it's good. It's. I don't know who that is. I don't know who that writer is. Is he British?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting, because that is one of my criticisms about the season. Because there is a stopover in the UK, and it's all, oh, isn't the UK old-fashioned and weird, man? Look at them, they're eating pigeon pie, and they all have kettles on stoves. They're all like, oh, look at this old-timey country, you know?
There is definitely the part of it where, like, anytime they go somewhere that's, like, a less affluent area, it's suddenly like we're in the Dark Ages again. Like, like even like the little manors that they go to for the rich people's houses in England, it's very much like you guys are kooky and weird.
Yeah, it felt very strange.
Catherine, like, you said last week, right, that these like get better as they go. So
it's so hard to judge because this was season 2 is better than I remembered it being, but I think I said that because I watched season 4 like live, and I was in this like fun mania of like watching it week to week and everyone reacting to it. So yeah. I can't judge it like objectively at this point.
Yeah, I'm kind of scared. I have rewatched season 4, but that was still when I was in the fresh mindset of like I just finished watching season 4 for the first time, and then I jumped straight back in. So I'm scared to get there.
You just finished watching it and then went straight back to watching it?
I have this show on an almost constant repeat.
That is insane. This is not a repeating show. You can't just Parks and Rec Succession.
I can and I do.
That is insane behavior.
I have a friend who watches Peep Show every day of his life, and I think that's mentally bad for a person.
See, that's New Girl for me. That New Girl's just on a constant loop for me.
New Girl's at least happy.
Yeah. It's easy. I need something like easy viewing, you know? Like, Succession is not the fucking... like, what are you doing?
I just love it, man. I just think this show hits a certain, like, caliber of... Like, I don't know what it is, right? And this sounds real knobby, but, like, it just... There's something about it that is just better than, like, so many other shows I've seen.
Every now and then you say something which makes me just hate you so much.
No, and I fully accept that, but there is something about it that, like, until I'd watched Succession, I hadn't seen a show that I felt like was on that level. And then I watched it, and it took me a while to get into it, and then I went, oh fuck, no, I think this is my favorite show.
What about Doctor Who?
Nathan, no, actually, hang on. This is the podcast I can safely admit. I think Doctor Who can be bad at times.
No, Lawrence, there's crossover. You can't.
Oh, sorry.
I'm going to tell the Discord what you said.
No.
We're ruined now, Lawrence.
God damn it. Our listeners plummet. Gosh. I think this season does like one thing a lot better than the first season, and that's like it goes so much deeper on character, and I feel like that's because everyone's, for the most part, in the same place doing the same thing. There's so many, like, they really take advantage of the ensemble cast, whereas, like, in season 1, there was a lot of characters, but, like, Shiv was often in DC, Kendall was off running a company while Logan was in the penthouse, and, like, in this season, there are so many scenes where they're all in a room, and they really just get to be terrible people in front of each other, which is great.
I and terrible people is definitely the right choice of words you used to describe them. Now, Catherine, last week you said you love Shiv, okay, and you love Shiv, and she's your favorite character, okay. I might need you to like convince me or to like help me out a little bit here, especially because you both also said like the fandom like fucking hate Shiv, like she's the like the Skylar White, and I'm not at that level, but like she's pretty hard to like as a character though.
No. Okay. She is my favorite character. Shiv is quintessentially an unlikable female character.
Yeah.
And like she's written so well, she's acted so well, she's so compelling. Just because she's unlikable, it doesn't mean you don't want to like keep watching her. So some of her actions are indefensible. I think the reason me and Lawrence were talking about the fandom is because like people act like she's worse than them, and she's not. So they act the other two are like these soft, cute baby boys that have never done anything wrong, and she's this like evil force. So it was just more from like that point of view. Yes, she is horrible. I love her.
Okay. They should all be in Guantanamo Bay, like all of them.
They should.
But like
towards the end of the season, when they're working out which one of them should go to prison, the answer is clear. Yeah. It is everyone at the table. Yeah. I know what you're saying, Catherine, because there is this aspect of like everyone treats Shiv like she is 10 times worse than everyone there, and I feel like the reason that like because Kendall is a bad guy, right? Like Kendall's not a good guy, but he gets away with it a lot of the time because he has this perfect sad boy energy that people like sympathize with.
Sad boy. Oh my god, I felt so sorry for him this season. Yeah. And that's so annoying. Do you know how annoying that is to feel sorry for fucking Kendall? My god, I hated myself for that.
I'm fully on his side. I'm a Kendall boy, all right? It's just what it is.
I might be too.
And
I hate saying that.
When the final season was airing, I had on my Hinge bio at the time, like, tell me which Roy you're rooting for so I can see your red flags early. And it did not get the play that it deserved.
Oh no.
But I feel like every answer is a red flag, just a different red flag.
Yeah. There's no right answer to that question.
Do we start with Shiv? Do we start with Kendall? Where should we go? Who do we want to talk about?
Who do you want to talk about?
I feel like I want to talk about Shiv, because we're kind of already in there. So that the season throws a curveball, right? At the end of the last week on the podcast, I said, you know, there is a promise of the show of Succession being that one of these people, or maybe one of the kids, maybe not one of the kids, someone in the show will be the successor, will take Logan's role.
And you, both of you actually, laughed at me when I questioned that, last week. But I feel like it's not really a question in season 1, but it is a lot more in season 2, I feel like. So I feel like that's fair for me to question that.
Season 1 is it going to be Kendall or is he going to fuck the bed again?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I'll take my apology now, thank you.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay, thank you.
Season 2 is way more, which one of you is it?
Yeah. Or is it Holly Hunter?
Or is it Holly Hunter, Mrs. Incredible herself, coming in?
Oh, I was going to say the lady from Superman.
You drank the piss. Or not drank the piss. You the piss
She didn't drink the piss, Catherine. She just had it in a jar.
She could have. We didn't see it. It was half full.
She could have didn't drink the piss. I think she would have known.
Yeah, true. I guess. No, but I think we've thrown a curveball in episode 1 when Logan essentially goes to Shiv. It's yours, by the way. You're going to be the CEO.
Are we believing that? Because I'm like immediately like, what is this game?
Yes.
What game are you playing, Logan? Because like I was like, this isn't real. Surely this is not. There's 4 seasons of this. It's not wrapping up now. So what's going on? You know?
It's the beginning of Shiv's end, is what it is. I think. What do you think that does to her? Like when Logan essentially gives her the CEO job when I don't even think she wasn't even in the company at that point.
No. She was also offered like at the same time chief of staff to someone who might be which is like she was literally offered the position of like essentially the co-president, like chief of staff, like you cannot get like higher really. And she still walked away from that, something she'd probably been working for her entire life, or just on the vague idea of like maybe getting her dad's love for a company she has never been a part of
and has no experience in or like I know that there is a lot of, it's quite hard to forget. It's easy to forget, sorry, in this show that like there are so many contenders, but like none of them have done this job. This is like Kendall is the closest person that has done this job, and he did it terribly. Like, so I don't know. It's very fun. I do. I like what it does to Shiv throughout this season because she starts to get careless. And messy Shiv is by far and away the most interesting Shiv is when she's just kind of sloppily doing moves and then like not really knowing what the repercussions of it will be. I feel like she gets like she's the most like her dad, I think. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, definitely. She's like she has a really emotional response to everything, and like which Logan also does. Like they just blurt out what they're thinking and like damn the consequences, but he can get away with that because he's made himself king of the world, and she's just like desperately trying to be like him and to emulate him in every single way, but she's just not.
With Logan, there's this aspect of like when he's emotional and he shouts out, it's viewed as that's powerful, that's masculine, that's him making a tactical choice to put his cards on the table. Whereas when Shiv does it, that's emotional, that's desperate. This is why a woman shouldn't do this job. Like I don't know, I find Shiv and Logan's dynamic in this season specifically is it's the best the show has been, I think, at doing this kind of stuff. What do you reckon about all that, Nathan?
I think it's very interesting when you're right. It's clear that like this does cause Shiv to like freak out a little bit, really, and she's not quite sure how to handle the like this is something she's always wanted. She's finally going to get daddy's love, and now she's like on the precipice of it, and she's like, better not fuck this up. How can I do that? Oh, I'll fuck it up. Like when they go to this fucking weekend retreat at the weirdest fucking family of billionaires in the world, okay? And
they're the good ones, quote unquote.
Okay, sure. Yeah. But then like she like when she says, "Oh yeah, I'm the successor" at dinner, and everyone's like, "What the fuck are you? Why?"
You can hear a pin drop like, in that.
Yeah, and you can just see the look on Logan's face, like, "What the fuck?" Like that was never gonna go well for you ever. Okay, and I think it's fun to see her respond to that and how she then like tries to cover it up and lashes out, and she even like has those moments where she's like she talks to Tom about it and she's like, I'm freaking out, I'm fucking up, but I didn't even want this, but now I kind of do. You know, it's very interesting. I like it. Sarah, I heard Sarah Snook talk for the first time. I heard Sarah Snook talk in her regular accent for the first time today, and I was like, what? That is insane. What a chameleon.
Sarah Snook, I genuinely believe she is one of the best actors working today. I think she is phenomenally talented. Like there's she's incredible in season 2. She just goes from strength to strength. In season 4, she is unbelievably talented. It's crazy how good she is.
I saw her do a one-woman production of Picture of Dorian Gray where she played.
I tried to get tickets for that.
Man, it was so good. She played all the characters and just switched through them effortlessly, and it was amazing. She was so good.
I tried so hard to get tickets for that, but it was like the worst timing in the world with what I had going on, and I was like, "Fuck no!"
L.
It wasn't it. It was the biggest L. I remember you teasing me, Nathan. I told you about it, and you were like, "Whatever. Who gives a fuck?"
Who cares about this shit? I'm not going to that. I'll go see Hamilton instead.
I do like with Shiv, before we kind of like, I mean, we're going to circle back around and everything, but before we move on from her, like, it's not just that aspect. Nathan touched on it. She has obviously, we're now seeing the first few months of her marriage with Tom, and obviously the start of their marriage wasn't perfectly handled.
Nope.
And I don't. Give me your thoughts on their relationship this season.
There was a moment of where I genuinely dropped my jaw. Fucking hell! Where I genuinely dropped my jaw at one point at one thing. Like it was the scene where they're all like, "Oh, who should go to prison?" around the fucking table on the yacht, and then someone just goes fucking like I can't remember who it was, but someone goes, "Oh, it should be Tom," and then Shiv goes, "Yeah, it should be Tom." And I was like, "Whoa,
yeah,
what?
Yeah.
That is your man." That is insane.
The slip as well, like because when Tom's like, what? And she's like, no, I'm defending you. And I'm like, no, you forgot he was in the room is what happened there for a second.
That was genuinely my jaw dropped at that moment. And Tom even stood up to her after that as well. He was like, maybe I don't know how it plays out, but hey, maybe they're broken up.
The only bad, I don't think it's bad at all. The only negative consequence of making Shiv so complex and interesting this season is it kind of does embolden Tom as a more sympathetic character.
Yeah.
And Tom's a scumbag.
So Tom is a scumbag, yeah.
But obviously it's difficult. What do you think, Catherine?
I mean, both can be true. He is a scumbag, but she is a monster to him.
Yeah. That is not a healthy relationship
no.
at all.
And it's the way the only time she can really like verbalize how she feels is when she feels like any kind of power. So like the first time she's like truly like honest in how she feels is when she comes off the stage after giving that talk and she's like living her girl boss fantasy and she's like, no, I don't want you to sleep with anyone else, only I can sleep with other people. But because she feels like power enough to like tell Tom that she like actually loves him for once in her own like messed up way.
Yeah. I feel like I think in season 1 or it might have been early season 2, Roman says something to the effect of like business is my fucking, or it might be Kendall. And I do think there is like a correlation between like these characters, they don't know intimacy outside of a business environment or like a transactional relationship. It feels like every relationship they actually have is a deal, is a power dynamic deal essentially. And I love that how this kind of Tom gets fucked every single turn in this season, right? Like he's kind of put on the spit for cruises. He's like the second he tries to exercise any kind of interest in exploring his privileges in an open marriage, Shiv shuts him down. And he's almost kind of like put on the fire in terms of being sent to prison. I do think the most interesting declaration of Shiv's love is something she does in the last episode after Tom stands up to her, which is very much, I'm throwing away my shot for this man.
Yeah, and it's kind of like she sacrifices her chance at the gig for him.
Like the tragedy of Shiv and Tom is because I actually do think they do in their own messed up way love each other, but she can't say that to him. She couldn't support Tom to his face. She had to do it where he's not around and he doesn't know because she can't let herself be vulnerable to him and he's her husband.
It's a sad kind of state. That Tom's line to her, I don't remember exactly what it is. Something to the effect of like, I wonder if the sad I would be without you would be better than the sad I am from being with you or something. And like so many people I've seen say that these two don't love each other, and they do. It's just really fucked up. Like Shiv's face when Tom says that, the camera kind of pulls focus to her, and she is distraught. Like that hit her. Like it really did.
But it's because she's learned how to show love from Logan. So he is fucked up to everyone that he loves. So she just emulates that behavior. She does love him. That is how she shows it. And it's awful and abusive. And like, they're not good together, but it doesn't mean she doesn't love him.
It's such a shame that it costs her a shot at a job. Because like, despite messy moves that she does do, like, I think the show does a really good job of showing you the kids' individual strengths. Like this season specifically, it like shows you every kid, despite being terrible at their job, they each have a strength. Like Kendall's very book smart about business, and like he has his addiction kind of hang-ups, and he's not quite self-confident. Roman is a moron but has really good instincts, like in terms of like, I don't know how to do this, but I feel like that someone smarter than me should do this and it would work. And Shiv, I do think Shiv would be the most capable. She is the most like Logan in the sense that she could kill people and send people away.
She also gets there's several times where she's proven right with the right PR move to take and the right spin to make. And she's just kind of not listened to. And she's also like shown to be like quite good at negotiate. And I know they say like Roman's really likable, but I think more people like Shiv is very good at charming people initially. It's then when they spend time with her, they're like, oh, she's a monster. So she is like good in that sense.
In what sense is Roman likable? He is the most unlikable man I've ever seen.
In these circles, when everyone's a prick, he's a likable prick.
Is he? Because all he does is just make fun of you and belittle you. Like that's all he does to everyone.
But like this people, like the guy that he bought his company. Like in season 1, when he's trying to get the guy's cool.
Sorry, I just remembered there's a plot point in this where fucking it's so funny. Roman buys a football team to impress his dad, but it's the fucking wrong football team. That's fucking hilarious.
It's Logan's response that like, oh yeah, no, you might be right. Maybe I have got it wrong. This team I've supported my whole fucking life.
And they're like, I guess we fucking own this team now. Okay.
And his speech to the footballers as well.
Yeah.
Go get them, you hilarious. Lovely bastards.
Oh, that's very funny. Anyway, you were saying, go
on. Well, do we have any other kind of? We can do all the other kids later, but do we have any kind of other points on Shiv?
I mean, she did some pretty horrific stuff.
Yeah, we should maybe discuss the big bad things.
Yeah.
Oh yes, of course. Yeah.
She did do that pretty fucking, bordering on a war crime sort of thing.
Yeah.
So, Catherine, how are you feeling about that?
I think it shows. I think Shiv before this season wouldn't have made the same choice to pressure that woman into recanting her story. So it shows like how far she's going. And even like at the start of this season, you see her like there's a really small moment where she checks in with Willa because she's like, brothers adopted this woman. I should maybe check if she's okay. So it's like, oh, she kind of wants to help there, but doesn't actually help where she's given it. I think it's awful. It's like evil. I think you're meant to feel like not torn on the scene because on one hand, I think she is being honest because she's giving this woman information that Gil or Nate like wouldn't be bothered to tell her, but she's ultimately only doing it in service of Wayne Starr. And she like is empathetic, but she's kind of weaponizing her empathy. So
which I think in a way makes it worse, right? Because it gives her that plausible deniability of like, I was honest. I told her what was what, like no one else would. But it's the Logan move. It's the sprinkle a bit of the truth and then emotionally blackmail, essentially. It's crazy because obviously her politics, like she was essentially going to be the chief of staff for Bernie Sanders, like. How that ideology kind of crumbles the second that she's given a chance to impress her dad. And that's like the root of everything is Logan. But it's unfortunate that like that's seen as like Logan goes up to her and like he's the most affectionate he's ever been with her after she does that. Because it's a major move in getting them kind of off the shit heap in Congress. But like the way he like goes over to her and says like you did really well and like holds her face quite affectionately and like it just sucks that everyone in that room came away from that being like another good day in the office. It's horrible.
Even Shiv though as well, like it didn't really maybe I missed it, but it didn't really seem like at any point she felt like any remorse or anything like that. There was no like scene of her like regretting it or anything like that. It was just it's done, no worries.
I don't think she did because I think she like I think she knows what she did was wrong, but she's like talked herself into like I was looking after this woman, like I'm going to change the company and I'm going to make sure she gets paid and gets justice in my own way, which isn't true. You can't change this kind of culture that way.
Shiv is incredible at gaslighting herself, which is crazy. Like crazy levels of delusion.
I'm good at gaslighting myself. Do you ever gaslight yourself? Is there like something you really need to get done and you're like, I don't really need to do that right now. I can do that like tomorrow or something. Knowing full well you won't do it tomorrow, but then...
I do that. As my day progresses, the work I needed to get done feels less and less important. Like 7 o'clock looms and I'm like,
I am fucking horrible for, that's future Nathan's problem. That's like, that is the worst, like easily my worst quality.
But at least it's not like, at least you're not, the things that are future Nathan's problems aren't like witness tampering, like this kind of thing. Like,
you don't know what I get up to.
That's true. That is true. Last thing I'll say is the reason I think Shiv is like quite effective, and if she didn't lose her head as much as she does, and like for justified reasons a lot of the time, but there's a lot of things she kind of fucks out of this kind of messy approach to trying to prove how good she is. There is a master Logan level manipulation pulled on when she essentially sets Rhea up to be the face of the scandal, and Logan kind of gets her take, like, is she the right choice? And she's like, yeah, she is absolutely the right choice, having just heard from Jerry. This news is about to blow, and whoever is announced as the CEO is fucked forever.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Which I loved. I just thought that was like, because these characters are terrible, but every now and again you just kind of fist pump for them. And you're like, yeah, that was a fucking good move on your part.
Well done, Kendall, for doing that rap.
And we talk about the rap.
Can we please talk about another jaw-dropping moment from me?
L to the OG, Nathan. Your favorite song? You bumping this?
God. I was like, is this really fucking happening? It's like, does Kendall think this is good? I'm like, I don't know. I think he does.
I think he does.
Thinks it's amazing. Yeah.
His boy Squiggle cooked up that beat.
His boy Squiggle. His fucking shirt as well. My God.
He got the jersey.
With the bow tie.
With the bow tie, yeah. Truly horrendous from start to finish, but I kind of liked it. It was fun.
A real fun fact is, I won't say the other thing about it. Jeremy Strong has 2 performances in this show as a whole.
Who's Jeremy Strong?
Kendall, yeah. Okay. And the thing that makes them even better is that he, for the soundtrack, recorded them professionally in a booth. Okay. So there is a version of L to the OG where Jeremy Strong is giving it everything he's got, and it's incredible.
Born on the North Bank, king of the East Side, 50 years strong. Now he's rolling in a sick ride, handmade suits, raking in loot. 5-star general, y'all best salute. Yo, bitches be catty, but the King Kong daddy. Rock all the haters while we go roll a fatty. Squiggle on the decks, Kenny on the rhymes, and Logan big ballin' on Hampton's time.
Jeremy Strong has never not given anything. Everything he's got. If you don't know anything, he's a method actor, so he takes his craft very, but in like not in a abusive way, in kind of just like an intense theater kid way.
Not in a Jared Leto kind of way.
No. Yeah, he's like a sad boy on set, like Kendall would be.
Is he doing cocaine?
Who knows?
I don't know.
That's a kind of meta fun bit about the show. There's been many a times where Brian Cox, the guy that plays Logan, has been like, do away with all this nonsense. It's fucking annoying being on set with this guy. Like, you want to just bro out with him, and he's just a fucking wet lettuce.
Oh, no.
There was one time which I'm obsessed with. Brian Cox called him, like, he said, Jeremy Strong just seems sad to the press. And then Jeremy Strong was like, well, I've only ever been on character in set, and Kendall is a very sad man.
That's such bullshit, man. I think method acting is complete fucking horseshit myself.
I do too. I forgive it in Jeremy Strong's case, because whenever he's asked about it, he's very like sort of embarrassed. Like it's clear he has a passion for acting, but he's very much just like, this is my process. Please stop making fun of me. I'm not a menace.
Yeah.
He's not like Jared Leto, like, bring me a bag to piss in. I won't get out of this wheelchair because I'm a disabled character or something. Like, all right, so we'll do Kendall. The finest improv ever to exist is when Kieran Culkin improved Ken W.A. during L to the OG. That's my favorite line.
Wait, he did what, sorry?
He improved saying Ken W.A. when Ken starts rapping, yeah.
Ken W.A.
Nathan, you said you might be a Kendall boy, so show your working. Let's talk about Kendall stuff.
Okay, so he killed someone. He killed that boy. Mm-hmm. Okay. And most of this season, at the beginning anyway, he's so, oh my God, he's fucking insufferable, because he's just like, he's like, you know, like the fucking, this sounds mean, but like a depressed person, and you're just like, fucking hell, dude, just liven up a little bit. Yeah. But not like actually, you know, just someone who just sucks all fucking life out of the room, because he's just following his dad around like a fucking wet sponge, and just being like, hey guys, I think we should listen to my dad on this one, because my dad really knows how to let's get it done.
Yeah.
Okay? And he's, oh my God, he is a charisma vacuum for like the first few episodes. But it's also like kind of engaging. I'm interested to see like how he fucking, well, not how, but like, I'm interested to see the fact that he was on this fucking high of like, fuck you, dad, I'm going to take you down. And then his dad brought him right fucking down to this level where he's so under his boot, he is his boot, basically. It's really interesting to watch. And there's one moment when Logan fucking hits Roman, and then he fucking snaps out of it and fucking answers him and like defends Roman and fucking calls Logan out on his shit. And I'm like, those are the moments where I'm like, fuck yeah, stand up to this cunt. Fucking hit him, shoot him, I would, all right?
Yeah.
But it's like, and that's why at the end I was like, fuck, yes, this is amazing. This is what I wanted. It's, I don't know. I feel sorry for him. I hate that I feel sorry for him because he's a bad man and he's annoying and he's a prick and he did a horrible thing. But he didn't really kill her. It wasn't his fault, really. But like, I don't know. It's tricky.
I don't think the guy's death wasn't, well, it kind of was because he was driving, but the kid did like grab the wheel. I think it's more like he left the scene is like what he really did that was wrong, and then he just like ignored all consequences.
Yeah, 100%.
Kendall at like the start of this season, it's just like, I don't know, it feels like night and day to last season when he was in his like really manic phases, and it's like you kind of see what he can accomplish working for someone else. Like he's like Logan's lapdog. He's like his enforcer at times. He's his like spy. He's like so invested in what Logan needs, and he even like starts guessing what his dad would want. And it's not because he like really believes in what he's doing, but because I think for him it feels like life and death being with Logan right now, and it's so serious. It's like that episode pretty early on where there's like is it a shooter and the employee kills himself, and like just Kendall going up to the roof and like seeing that they've put down, like they've made it so someone can't jump off, and it's so heartbreaking.
This is why I think it'd be so easy to write this off as like he is a boring guy just being a yes man for his dad walking around, but like there's this whole level to his character where he's got these like dead inside eyes, and you can't help but kind of empathize with him, and he this kind of situation that he's going through is very much a case of like he's a good enforcer for his dad. He's effective, like, but he has that beautiful scene with Shiv where it's the first kind of time you really see them touch base as siblings that can love each other, are capable of like feeling something for one another, where he's kind of going, Shiv is obviously being groomed as the new me, and I'm on the outside, and this isn't a nice feeling. He just completely breaks down, and he says, like, if you take over, please keep me in a good role, because if I wasn't doing this, I don't know what I'd be for. And, like, that's just Kendall through and through. His entire sense of self-worth is how good can he be as an effective team member at Waystar Royco. And it's just like, God, his sense of self in this season is so paper thin. And that, you're right, Catherine, that scene where he goes to the roof and it's like they've essentially, it starts with it being very open, but then obviously after the suicide, they put preventative measures in place on the roof, and it's just trapped him. Like he's not it's a clear visual metaphor, but like he just stares at the outside of the glass, wishing he could do anything else and be anyone else. And it's horrible, but brilliant.
I'm thinking of my head in a show, and I don't know if this is real or if I'm making this up, but like I'm thinking of something where like someone is in like a horrible, abusive situation, like a relationship or something, or they're being tortured or some shit, and then they're given a chance to get free, but they're so fucking Stockholmed into it that they don't. And I don't know what maybe I'm thinking about Game of Thrones with that fucking weird guy and the Allen's brother. Yeah. Maybe I'm thinking about that. But it almost seems like Kendall has like got himself into this horrible, like abusive relationship with his own father, where like he had a chance to get out, but now he's been suckered back in, and he's so deep into it that he can't help but like even thank his dad for it. And like, because the scene which points that out to me the most is the scene where like he does a good job at something I can't remember, but then like Logan's like, Kendall's gonna work in here with me now, and then like tells him to go sit at the fucking desk on the other side of his room. And Kendall has nothing with him, no laptop, no phone. He just sits at the desk, just there with nothing to do.
Yeah.
And Logan's like, "Comfy," and he's like, "Yeah." And I felt so sorry for him in that moment. He's just such a fucking. He has nothing.
Just waits for an order. That's it.
Apart from his billions of dollars, obviously, but like he has nothing other than just like this fucking shred of whatever his father is throwing him that he's holding on to, and it's tough.
And he's like reaching. He is trying to reach out to other people, but there is like no one for him to reach out to. Like the bit with his mum where. He's so desperate to confide in her, and she says, not now, not till the morning, and then she just fucking abandons him.
Yeah, that's fucked, man.
It's such an interesting, and I think the show writes this really well, right? They not only write two interesting characters in Logan and Caroline, I want to say. Caroline?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Caroline.
But they not only write two compelling characters, but it also makes sense that when you put them together, it perfectly explains all of the Roy kids, apart from Connor, obviously. Like, they're a cocktail of their mum and dad's worst traits, where they're emotionally unavailable and also incredibly emotionally immature. I think with Kendall, the thing that got me the most, and it's kind of played as this kind of like cool moment for Kendall, where he's a bit like of an alpha business guy. But like when you look at it with the context of season 1, you go, that's really sad. Is that Logan, like Nathan said, he lets him work in the office, which is obviously Logan keeping enemies closer than, because he's not fully forgiven him at all. But when he tells him to gut the company that Kendall was supposed to be announced as the CEO, like that was his big acquisition to announce that he was taking over the company. And then he makes Kendall go in, fire everyone personally, which is something that like is just not a CEO's job to do. It's horrible to watch.
It's horrible.
And he has this line of like because my dad told me to, and it's played as like an epic Kendall mic drop because the other guy does suck. But at the same time, you're like, this is
Who sucks?
Who sucks? The guy, the guy that runs. He's called Lawrence Yee.
Yeah, he is. He sucks.
Hey,
I got him.
I don't know if you can.
Got him.
Fine. But I don't know. There's something about the sadness of because my dad told me to, and like.
Yeah, it's so pathetic, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
It's so pathetic, and he's like, because my dad told me to. Like, in his head, that's like, oh, like explosions and shit behind him. But yeah, it's just so sad.
It's the coolest he can be, and he takes it. And then, like, but for everyone else looking in, it's like, they even laugh. Someone spits in his face, and he's just like, I got nothing, dude. I'm already dead. It's sad, but yeah. Before we kind of do like Roman and some other stuff that's going on in the series, do you want to, while we're talking about Kendall, should we talk about the ending at the same time?
Oh.
Yes. What an ending.
Yeah.
What a picture. What a motion picture.
So you said your jaw, obviously me and Catherine knew this was coming, but your jaw hit the floor, right?
My jaw hit the floor. I was like fully expecting him to fucking just take it because he has been such a little bitch. And like even like at the end of the episode and stuff, throughout the episode, like he fucking went into that meeting with his dad knowing what was coming and just been like, okay, yeah, it's okay. I'm like, fucking hell, dude, grow a fucking spine, man. But yeah, it was fucking insane to me. And then the moment like everything clicked together, Greg was with him. He had the fucking receipts in his little folder as well. It was all like, fuck, this is good TV. This is good stuff. God, really, HBO know what they're doing. They should do this more often.
It's the Madam Web. Her web connects them all. You're like,
her web connects us all.
All the plot lines are connected. I think this is the best season. Like, this is the best example of bookending a season I've seen. Right, where it starts and ends.
Starting with a press conference. That would have been good if I could fucking say it. Starting with a press conference, ending with a press conference.
Yeah, and like the clear differences between Kendall's mental state. Like, one is where his nose is bleeding. He's a yes man for his dad, and he's just mumbling, "My dad's plan was better," over and over. And then this one where he's like very ironic, very articulately being like, "My dad sucks shit, and everyone should hate him. Here's why I hate him." But the thing that got me about it, and I didn't notice it, I've seen this show so many times, I didn't notice it until today, is the way in season 2, in the first episode, his dad, sees the press conference, sees that Kendall has kind of shut down some of the bear hug rumors, and has said, he turned to his board and said, ladies and gentlemen, the first fucking good thing my son has done. And then the show ends with Kendall proving his dad wrong, showing he has the capacity to be a straight cold fucking killer, and Logan's little smile
That
of pride.
smile.
Here's the thing. Am I insane, or did he kind of look proud?
He was proud. Absolutely he was. Yeah.
This is
100%.
fucked, man.
And it's fucked up.
Because he was showing that he was a killer. Like, it's so good. Like, I really feel the moment, because I think Kendall was willing to take the fall and to go to prison, but it's when Logan refers to the boy in the car. What acronym do they use? Not a real person. And
Yeah, no real person involved.
yeah, NRPI is, I think, when he decides it in that moment.
The thing that fucking, just while we're on the subject of fucking Logan being a horrible cunt to Kendall, fucking making him go to see the family as well.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was fucking awful.
Yeah. And then the thing that got me the most about that was when he's like, it looked weird if you stayed inside. But then he doesn't let him in the room. He just lets him sit in the kitchen looking at the photos of the family.
Yeah.
And it's like, God, you're such a prick. But the thing that I love about his kind of no real person involved thing, every single scene, Kendall is trying to find the light in this scenario. He's trying to see his dad as a capable man and a good boss and a good father. Like, he says to Naomi, like, he does love me. He does love me. It's just a different sort of love. Is when Logan says, no real person involved about the boy. And he suddenly clicks. It clicks in his head. You can see his eyes go like, that was what they said about the sex workers and the cruises scandal, which Logan has professed over and over again he knew nothing about and was totally oblivious that this was happening underneath him. And I don't know, there's something about it, something about Jeremy Strong and what his eyes can do and how he's like capable of looking like a little 12-year-old deer in headlights and then also looking like the scariest guy ever. It's great. It's such a good ending to the show.
It's him tearing up those note cards as he's leaving.
Oh, yeah.
It's so good. Such a baller move.
Yeah. He knows he's cool. He
Yeah.
knows we're all looking at him being like, this is cool.
He's got a girlfriend now. Or maybe he doesn't anymore. But he had a little girlfriend.
Yeah, he's got... Well, we shan't speak.
Okay, well, that tells me that goes nowhere then. Okay, so great.
No, not necessarily. It's just that their relationship gets more fleshed out a little bit. Like, there's more to... I think that's more interesting for next week to talk about.
Okay. He also had a girlfriend that he stole from a play for like a day or two.
One of my favorite little stupid Kendall things is Connor comes to try and ask for like, can this girl come back and be in the play that I've spent stupid amounts of money on? And Kendall goes, no, we're actually engaged in a psychosexual sexathon or something. And he's just fully clothed and wearing a t-shirt. And I'm like, yeah, looks it, mate.
Did Connor say at one point he's spending $500,000 a week on that play?
Yeah.
I think he did.
That is insane.
Was it $500,000 a week?
Yeah, that's what a Broadway
something
play
like that,
costs to run. That is accurate.
Fucking insane.
Fuck.
That is insane, man.
I had no idea. What was it? Because Logan says, oh, no, it's $500K for the Napoleon dick that turned out to be a fake or something that Connor bought. Yeah. Nathan, I'm sure you have some thoughts on where they take Roman this season.
Yeah. So he goes to work at Disneyland. Okay. Disneyland, first of all, Waystar Disneyland looks fucking shit. All right. It looks like a fucking... It doesn't even look like any kind of theme park. It looks like a rundown, like fucking Blackpool Pleasure Beach or some shit. Doesn't look great. Second of all, okay. So last week we got into Roman's sexual hang-ups. Okay.
Yes.
And clearly he has some kind of maybe psychological issue when it comes to actually having sex with his partner, and that gets fleshed out a little more this season. And surprisingly, he finds himself a new partner, which I did not see coming at all, in Jerry, who kind of just dominates him while he masturbates. So that's
by the way, like in case you're just listening to this and you haven't seen the show, Jerry is the general legal counsel for the family and company.
Yes,
the worst possible choice to engage in this relationship with.
Yes, I don't know. It's like. I can see why someone like Roman would be attracted to Jerry. Okay.
Yeah.
I think we can all see why Roman would be attracted to Jerry.
Yes. Yeah.
That's not the question.
I think we can.
One thing I love so much, I saw someone tweet this the other day, that it was it was a picture of Jerry and Roman and said, a ship, a straight ship so good the gays love it. And it's I think that's very true.
Okay. It's, I don't know, it's interesting, but also like it's very, I don't know if it goes any further, but at this point it's also like quite one-sided though as well, because like they're not really doing anything well, I mean it's pretty sexual, but like they're not like engaging sexually. He's just like jerking off while she fucking degrades him, and then that's really the extent, and in different rooms most of the time as well. Which is great. And then he proposes. Did he propose at one point to her? And then he did that classic fucking Roman thing where he just got awkward and was like, "Nah, it's a joke. Fuck off." You know.
This is Roman's third proposal, I think.
Is it his third proposal?
I think because it was Grace, then it was his partner that he is with, I forget her name. Tabitha, that's right, yeah. And now it's Jerry. And Tabitha knows nothing about Jerry and Roman's other proposals to Jerry.
That's insane.
But no. I think it's more, I don't take it as like a serious marriage thing. He wants his version of stability that he sees that Kendall had, Shiv has. He wants a business relationship. He gets fucked off that Kendall goes and talks to whoever he wants. Shiv and Tom obviously bounce off each other on business related stuff. And I think he wants that, as well as he wants, I mean, there's all sorts that he wants from Jerry. He wants a mum. He wants someone that...
definitely wants a mum.
Yeah. He wants someone that, like, admires him, but also there's a level of Jerry would do well to have Roman in her back pocket like this, in terms of her career. Given that there's a serious point in the show where he looks like he could be the contender for the top job in this season. Well, I don't know. Catherine, what do you make of their whole bond?
I mean, I love it. It's really good to watch. I like the kind of it's like there in the show, but kind of as like a very minor subplot of like the power struggle kind of between the old guard, and you get various members of them. Like I can't remember what's the one that supports Kendall. I always get their name, Carl or
Frank.
Frank is like clear Team Kendall, and Jerry's kind of always leaving her options open, but she's like, I could mold Roman into something and then my future is set. And she really goes more in for it when they say we can write Jerry's name on the piece of paper, but it's definitely not going to be Jerry.
But I feel like if Roman were to get the top job, it would effectively be Jerry. Jerry would be making every call, and Roman would just be like, sure, sounds great. This makes sense.
We didn't really talk about it last week, but it was kind of fucking, probably not the right choice of words to use, but it was pretty hilarious when Roman just watched that fucking rocket blow up. Because he was in charge of that satellite launch. Then he just went into the bathroom to watch on his phone, and he was just, well, just going to ignore that. Just pretend that didn't happen, and then just go about the rest of the fucking wedding.
It's the way he immediately puts his phone away and washes his hands. Like, literally washes his hands.
Just puts it away. It's like... Nope, cannot think about that. Relatable king.
And he says to Jerry or something later on, like, what if there was theoretically lots of, paperwork about me accelerating the launch of this rocket? Like,
I'm not buying no one died in there. There's no way.
Yeah. What does he say? A couple of thumbs? Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, a couple of thumbs. Yeah.
He even does this guy. He's like, who's not going to jail for corporate manslaughter? This guy. This guy.
Yeah.
I do one thing I do really enjoy about Roman in this, and look, it's not. It obviously him and Jerry is the main subplot. There is obviously he is kind of fighting for the top job, but this is less Roman focused. The focus is way more on Shiv and Kendall. But
I never see him as a serious contender.
Okay, you say that,
season,
but I think Logan does. I think Logan knows he's a fuck up and he's an idiot, but his instincts throughout the show have been quite business thought out and intelligent. He's effective in different ways. Kendall is so unrelatable to Logan because of the fact that he's grown up preparing his entire life to be a CEO, which is not what Logan did. Logan was a man who came from nothing, so he knows people, whereas Roman is the most similar. Like Kendall's like, I went through paperwork and I found out that Volta could be safe, but they're not very effective as a company. And Roman's response is like, I went out and got them shit-faced and they're unionizing, so let's bin them. And Logan bins them because it makes more sense. Like, I think he is effective, just very unconventionally in the business world.
I think he's too much of a silly little boy.
But that's why Jerry's perfect, because Jerry will make him not a silly little boy.
Yeah, but what is he without Jerry, though?
Nothing.
He's a silly little boy. You can't depend on Jerry all forever. Otherwise, just give the fucking job to Jerry.
No, but that's never happening, though, is it? Because Jerry is not family and also a woman, which is 2 strikes against her in Logan's eyes.
Well,
but he has got good instincts. Like later on, you see they try all season to get this kind of money that's gonna essentially bail them out of being a public company, which means there's less responsibilities for them to, like, I don't know. It's all business kind of mumbo jumbo.
They don't have to answer to shareholders at that point.
Yeah. But Roman has the valid point of like, right, if we say yes, the banker is pushing for this because he could make 100 million and retire very comfy. I think it's insane that this place wants to balance their portfolio with a 10 billion mega deal. Like, that's a good instinct from Logan. And you even see Carl being like, yeah, Logan's right. Roman's right here.
The finances in this show make no sense to me. Okay? It really, because at one point, like, fucking Logan was offering the other company, like the other family of billionaires, 25 billion for their company.
Yeah.
And now he needs 10 billion to be private. But he was offering that. I'm no CFO.
You don't have to buy another company. You don't have to have like that amount of money. It's like you'll just can if you're a bigger company. I don't really understand it, but they don't. I can't
go to Tesco, okay, and buy myself a delicious pasta bake if I don't have the money to buy a pasta bake.
But the world is made by billionaires, so they get to decide their silly little rules.
Well, I don't like it.
What else is going on? Should we talk a little bit about Tom?
Roman gets kidnapped, kind of.
Yes,
really.
Yeah.
That was quite fun.
This is the weirdest. Maybe it's because this subplot is happening whilst the DC hearings are happening. Yeah. And like every time they cut away from the DC hearings, I'm like, I want to see all of them. I want to see every second of them on the stand fucking up. So like, for me, that subplot was a little bit like whatever. I feel like they just needed Roman to do something. Maybe am I missing something? What do you guys think of it?
I quite liked it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it didn't really fit in with. I assume because most of the things like based on reality, maybe there is a case where like a CEO was held at gunpoint and that's what it's based on. But for me, it just didn't feel quite like in keeping with the tone of everything else. But I liked watching it.
I like watching Roman scramble.
Yeah.
My security guy is going downstairs.
yeah. It's funny to see him just slowly freak out about this kind of stuff, but still try and retain that image.
It might be because
silly little boy.
Earlier in the season, like when he has the chance to present his ideas, he runs away and he hides. So if you put him in a situation where he like can't leave and he has to do his job, there's nothing else to do. Like, what does he actually do in that situation?
Have you noticed, Nathan, that so many of Roman's business dealings take place in bathrooms?
I haven't until now.
It's a thing with him, right? It's very much this like, as private as I can be, I'm very good when no one is watching me. What do you make of those DC hearings, all of that stuff?
Very funny. There was one moment which really made me fucking laugh was when one of the congressmen, like clearly some like Republican fuckhead, was just like to Logan and Kendall, like, I like these guys and I want to go for a beer with them, and that's all he said.
Yeah.
And then just yielded back his time.
It cuts back to Bernie Sanders essentially being like, fuck's sake. Like, how has that played more than my incredible fact find and discovery on these guys?
Exactly. It was very funny. I liked that. And very accurate as well.
Yeah.
That's the kind of shit you see in those things.
I went on a cruise with my wife.
I want the 5-hour Greg cut of all his hearings. Yeah. I want it so badly. It's so... You can speak normally. Yes, so I shall.
Yeah, it's a shame we didn't get to see more of Greg's hearing because that would have been pretty fucking great. Yeah.
I think Tom's hearing is the funniest in that it's just that it's I think it's a real strength with Matthew Macfadyen, right? To have this ability he's not saying the funny lines, but like the emails that they read out makes perfect sense for the character of Tom to have sent Greg 60 emails in an hour saying you can't make a Tomlet without breaking some Gregs. And at one point he does a little giggle. He's like, I guess I thought it was a joke. Like
the Tom and Greg dynamic continues to just amaze me. It's very fun. That scene where he was just throwing water bottles at him, and Greg was just like, "Cut it out, man!"
Yeah.
You know,
this is executive level business. Stay fucking back. Do you see a bit more about the gay ship now?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think maybe we called it out too early in season 1. It's definitely more apparent in season 2.
The way to me and to many women my age, Matthew Macfadyen is Mr. Darcy. So the way he can go from Mr. like the ultimate, like, I don't know, I always think like Mr. Darcy in that Pride and Prejudice is like what women want to see on screen. So the way he can go from that to Tom from Succession is insane to me. And they're so separate in my mind. It's a different man.
Yeah.
He goes from like head hunk to the most sexless individual on the planet. Like the biggest. What is it? I love his line. Like Shiv set up some sort of threesome situation on their like kind of family getaway, which is a horrendous scenario in itself.
With an employee.
Yeah, right. Two things stuck out to me here.
On a cruise.
Yeah, one is Tom and his kind of funny antics, but the second thing is they're just coming away from a DC hearing about a cruise's sex scandal, and Shiv's like, so one of the employees is going to have a threesome with us. What do you guys make of this?
Yeah.
Shiv, come on. But the way Tom just slowly starts to exclude this other woman from the threesome is so funny to me.
What if she watched from the bathroom behind the closed door through the keyhole?
What does he say? He says like, I think he refers to it as like, I've never played a stadium gig before. Did he integrate a bit better for you, Nathan? I know your complaint last week was that he was a bit out of place.
Yeah, I got more used to it. I don't think that problem wasn't as resolved necessarily, but I just got a bit more used to it, I think.
Yeah.
And I just like enjoyed it more, I guess. There was one moment which I thought was very funny with Tom, where him and Shiv go for dinner at Roman's and Tabitha, is it Tabitha?
Yeah.
Place. And when she says something to him like, you look like you need to swallow something. That fucking killed me. That
So
moment.
good.
And it's very, very good. Should we do some? Do you guys want to do some Logan, or do you want to do some like general points?
Can I say my favorite Tom moment, and then we can move
Please.
on from Tom? Is when he eats Logan's chicken.
Oh.
It's insane. And Logan's genuine surprise at what the fuck is so funny.
The way Logan reacted to that was fucking just the what the fuck.
I don't know. It's obviously the last like crawl for power that he can have before Logan makes his choice. But he's got a mouthful of chicken. Thanks for the chicken. Just like walks out.
Oh.
I love Shiv's reaction in the background. So much of this show is built on like actors just never phoning it in. They're always in the background of a scene giving the best reactions to stuff. And Sarah Snook's face is very much like, what is happening? Is he having a breakdown?
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
All right, should we do some? We'll do some Logan quickly and then some kind of final points, I think.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think of Logan was getting up to?
Well,
What do you guys make of his kind of arc in this season?
So, did he or did he not sleep with Holly Hunter?
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
He did. Okay. Because, okay. Well, you two have seen more of the show, but no, I don't know. Okay.
It's hard.
Why definitely, Catherine?
I feel like they pretty much say, like, when Marsha like goes up to her, like, I feel like Marsha will know, and I think it's like the fact that I think we see in season 1 him really bounce ideas off Marsha and tell her things. So I think the fact she knows she's not being kept out of the loop means Logan has another woman somewhere that he is doing this with, and we see him bouncing ideas off Rhea. So I think she's like taken that role off Marsha. So I just feel like and he's
Business
like
is fucking.
Yeah. So they've got a business relationship, so they're shagging.
That's just how it goes. I do think it is like you can see from her reaction when Marsha's like, "Are you testing?" Like, because we're still sexually active together. So are you? And she's very flushed and very taken back by it and put on the back foot. I think they definitely are. I think it's quite clear. But it is. I was in the same boat when I first watched the show as you, Nathan, where it's hard to imagine because Logan has not been shown to be a sexual creature in any capacity.
It's not even that. It's just that they never really like. It seems to be hinted at, but it's like never said explicitly. And like the fact that, you know, there's the whole thing about like Kendall needs to go like wake him up and he thinks he might like see him just fucking Holly Hunter or something.
We need Logan sexy.
Yeah. But he's just alone in there. He is just alone in there.
Yeah.
And then like he just wakes up and goes, "Where the fuck am I?" Which is quite funny. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm just like, I don't know. I never saw it, so
do you think, because the bit we were talking about earlier where Shiv lets Rhea take the fall, do you think Logan was also intending the whole time for Rhea to take the fall? Because he has that moment with Shiv where she's like, "Don't let your emotions make this decision." So was he debating not putting Rhea in because he, you know, has this relationship with her? I can never quite work out which way it is.
That's interesting. I've never thought about that.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. I don't know.
Yeah, because at that point, it's like the Shiv and Tom dynamic, isn't it? It's if I am involved with someone, I'm not going to give them more power to hold over me. That seems stupid.
Is it just a billionaire thing that you can just sleep with another woman and it's fine? Because, like, no one ever seemed to question that at any point. Like,
well,
no one ever seemed to bring up the fact that he's cheating on Marsha, you know?
I think it's
even Marsha herself was like, I mean, she was like catty about it. I was like queen shit, but like still, you know.
But I think there's something to remember is that these people live wildly different lives. Like their lives are so much like Logan's life as an 80-year-old man is more globe-trotty and like dynamic and fast moving than mine is, and I'm not 30. Like it's there's something.
Twisted the knife in there.
Yeah, that one was for Nathan. Yeah.
All right.
No, but like there is this element of I just think that it doesn't matter to them as much. Like it's just another one of Logan's broken promises. Like we all lost count. It doesn't fucking matter. This time it's just Marsha's on the receiving end of it. And
did they break up?
Yeah, she's gone. They said, and Logan says something like "I miss her" or something.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Yeah.
It's very fun. Are you satisfied, Nathan, with Marsha? Because like from what you've seen, she was kind of playing a game in season 1, and in season 2 she kind of takes a back foot. What do you make of her character?
Is she in season 3 or 4?
Well, I'm not going to answer that. She might be or she might not be.
Tell me if she isn't.
No, I'm just not gonna tell you that.
Oh, come on.
You've got a week to find out.
Okay, here, if she's not in it anymore, then yes, I'll be disappointed. Okay. If there's no more Marsha, then I'll be like, that is disappointing.
Okay.
I thought she was gonna have a big role in it, so yes.
Intriguing. Okay, cool. More to discuss at some point. I love his breakdown when he's banging on the Pierce company car, when obviously all the Cruiser scandal comes out. Logan kind of Nan Pierce, who is the head of the kind of rival news network that are far more like liberal than ATN are. She backs out the deal. She realizes that Rhea, her CEO, has kind of been fucking around and kind of they've been kind of making deals underhandedly. And as she drives off, just Logan's breakdown and screaming because he just didn't get what he wanted. Yeah. I think that it doesn't humanize him because he's a fucking monster. I like that the show is leaning into showing him be more of a humanized monster than he was in season 1.
When he just doesn't get his way, he just doesn't know what to do. Like he just goes through his problems with blunt force. It's always throw more money at it. Tell them to go fuck themselves. Like tell them that yell at your children until you get your way. So when he's presented, when he's presented with someone who's got like the same power level as him, Nan Pierce, also a billionaire, also owner like of her own company, and he can't bully her, he doesn't really have a way in. He can't do anything.
Yeah, I think you start to realize, like, I think he realizes in that point how useful people are, and he's just like you say, like kind of blunt forcing it through stuff is like, yeah, dude, fuck you. What are you gonna do now when you can't? Last thing I'll say about Logan is he's got this. He pulls another fantastic play in, like, he's been dangling the carrot for Shiv all season, and then kind of realizes he's put himself into a corner where she now expects it, and he's kind of unwilling to give it to her, and push is coming to shove, and he uses Rhea to essentially set up a meeting with Shiv to give Shiv bidding leverage, so that when Shiv can use it against Logan, he can be like, I can't believe you'd betray me like this.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't really know what you're talking about there, but I'm sure that's something.
Okay.
I agree, and I also think Connor Roy has been interested in politics from a young age.
Do we have Connor thoughts? Anyone got any Connor thoughts to share?
Nah, he's just doing side quests, isn't he? He's just putting on a play and fucking running for president, and all the con heads are going wild because he's been turned into a GIF.
Oh yeah, and it's a fun little one. If you see it, of him like fist pumping after Kendall, like compares the congressman to like wanting a state media or something. The only kind of dramatic read I can pick up from Connor in this season is that I think the reason he wants the job of president is now becoming more about his sense of entitlement, but also it's the one job that's more important than Logan's in this family. And he just desperately needs to be respected on some level, and he just can't. And like going for that job as much as he is making him a bigger laughing stock. It's so sad.
It's the speech he gives at Mo's funeral is amazing. He was a man. When someone dies, it is sad.
Also, the Mo thing is very funny. The nickname, yeah.
Nathan, did you pick up on Mo Lester until it was said?
No. I didn't know it was called Lester until then.
Yeah, so. I didn't either. And then the first time I watched that scene, I was like, God, I should have. I felt bad for Tom because I was like, yeah, I wouldn't have known that until you said it. But great stuff. All right, should we do some? I've got some general stuff that I think would be good to just like get a quick opinion on before we wrap up. Boar on the Floor is the first one.
Oh my God, horrible. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that felt horrible. Hated watching that.
Very easy to black out of your mind because it's just what a terrible... The way Carl goes, oink, 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 oink.
And Tom's like, Carl stole my sausage. He stole my sausage.
Yeah.
Awful. And what was really gross was you look around the room and like how much the other guys, the second they're not named the Boar on the Floor, they're enjoying it. Like they're fucking filming, they're like laughing. And like the people that weren't were like Jerry and Caroline. So it was like the two women were like, oh, we don't really like this.
Yeah. This is the other thing that I found just very sad was Colin, Logan's bodyguard, who is just like very ever present in the background of most of Logan's shots. He just, as soon as it starts getting a bit messed up, he just kind of slowly walks around to all the doors and closes them and like dismisses the waiters. And it's like, God, this guy's life must be like, fuck, Logan's being a prick again. I'm gonna have to just put some safeguarding in place here. God, yeah, that Boar on the Floor is quite scary. I love that the morning after Logan describes it's like things got a little zesty last night or something.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
What do we think of Mrs. Incredible as Rhea Jewel as a character?
Yeah, fine. Holly Hunter is always good, so always good to see her. Always good to hear that voice.
A great voice, really is.
Great voice, yeah.
What else have I got going on? Roman and Shiv think they'll get food poisoning from a corner shop. Very fun. Seeing them completely out of place.
Yeah, that was fun.
I love that there wasn't one normal food in that corner shop as far as they were concerned.
Yeah.
No. And Roman just like ate an apple. He just like picked up an apple and just started eating it.
And he just put it down on a shelf.
Just put it down. Yeah.
And the last little thing I've got is the it's a really fun dynamic because it's so rare you see these siblings work together in any capacity. But the scene where they all realize that Rhea is trying to fuck them all over, and they just go like, right, let's team up for 5 minutes and make her look like a prick in front of our dad. and like that Kendall gets her to do a toast for for Logan's sister, who like has like passed away, and he does not appreciate being brought up. Shiv obviously majorly plays her to be the head of and face of a sex scandal. Terrible stuff. Just I love all of that when they work together, and you can kind of see them all having their sibling hijinks and side-eyeing and laughing with each other. I love that stuff.
Oh, later on where they Kendall's trying to like be honest with his emotions, and they all just do their silly little like Tweety Bird voice or whatever it was.
Yeah, that was good.
Does anyone have any little things?
Oh, I have to talk about the food. When they threw out the food in the very first episode, they'd like made like the lobsters and all the like really expensive food, and like Logan was like, "No, I want pizza. Get rid of it all." And you just see them all throwing it in the bin. I was watching it with like my flatmates, and they like couldn't believe that moment.
This show could easily radicalize you.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
That's very true, yeah. I mean, you forget about those moments because you're so invested in the billionaire's world, and every now and again you go like, hang on, that's despicable. That shouldn't be allowed. Okay, all right. So I'll ask you the
here's
same...
my little thing. Here's
go
my
on.
little thing. I'm fucking sick of hearing Volvo sponsors Sky Atlantic. I'm fucking sick of hearing that. But anyway, there we go.
I asked you this last week, Nathan. Are you excited for Series 3?
I'm so excited for season 3.
Okay,
yeah,
nice.
I am because I'm very interested to see like what the fuck happens now. Because I assume Logan's going to be on the fucking warpath after this. So is Kendall just going to like fucking run to Mexico and hide? I don't know. I'm excited to see where it goes.
They've set the stage very well. It's such a good cliffhanger, such a good season ender. I'm very excited to get stuck in. Right, recommendations? Are we ready?
For fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Nathan! Right, this is the part of the show where we recommend some stuff to each other and to our lovely listeners. It can be anything. Can be a movie, could be a TV show, could be literally anything we've done or experienced in the past week that we would love to share with the lovely listeners and with each other.
Literally, all I've fucking watched is Succession.
Doesn't have to be something you watch, Nathan. It could be anything else.
Oh, wait, that's not true.
Okay.
Yeah, go on.
Catherine, would you like to go first?
Yeah. Lindsay Ellis has uploaded her first video to YouTube for like 2 years.
Is she back?
Well, I don't think she's back fully. Because she does most of her stuff behind a paywall, but she was like, this one video will be uploaded. So it's about Yoko Ono and the Beatles. So
She follows me on Twitter.
Pardon, sorry?
She follows me on Twitter.
Yoko Ono.
Yeah, she does.
What a brat.
We've been trying to work out why for like 5 years.
I don't know why. She was like, honestly, she was one of my first Twitter followers as well, like 10 years ago.
That's so weird.
I know. I have no idea why. I never have any idea why. But she follows me on Twitter.
The video is about like why people believe Yoko Ono broke up the Beatles and like what actually broke them up, and it's also like wider about like women in pop culture that were like vilified for like dating a guy. So it's really, really good. It's like 2 hours. It's really well put together. So it's a great watch.
I'm not going to lie. I have no idea who Lindsay Ellis is. Okay. But I might have to watch that because that does sound very interesting. There was the Peter Jackson Beatles documentary. It's not really a documentary, but it's just like footage that's been put together. Get Back, I think it was, that came out a few years ago, which I loved. I thought it was really interesting because, like, yeah, I'd always heard all this stuff about Yoko and how she, like, broke up the Beatles and how she was instrumental in tearing them apart. But then throughout that footage, she's just, like, chilling. She's just there. She's just, like, knitting in the corner while the Beatles are just squabbling amongst themselves. And I was like, Queen, I love her. It's great.
Clearly an evil mastermind at work here.
Yeah, she's just like minding her own business.
And I didn't know this. She's like a co-writer on Imagine. Like she helped write Imagine. I had no idea.
Wow, I didn't know that. Okay, I won't be doing a success emendation after popular hatred of the segment last week.
Good, because that was
doing
terrible.
A recommendation.
Good.
So I'm going to recommend Kinds of Kindness. It's a movie. It's
what is this?
It's a movie.
I haven't heard of this.
It's It's the guy who made Poor Things. He also made The Favourite. He also made, what else has he done? He's done.
Is he the lobster guy or no?
He is the lobster guy. Yeah. Yeah, he's a very good director. He's called Yorgos Lanthimos. He's basically made a movie, and I went into it completely blind. The only thing I'd seen of it was Emma Stone doing a very ridiculous dance in front of a car.
Oh, I've seen that.
So
on TikTok.
Yeah, that's what it's from. So
Okay.
I went in and I was like, what is this going to be? And it was the weirdest, most bizarre thing I could have seen. It's essentially 3 short films that have a connective theme and the actors are the same.
Like Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, in a way. But they're kind of more... they're not as connected, I don't think. But, like, it's a very, very bizarre thing. I won't spoil it. There's, like... It's very interesting in, like, terms of, like, a religious subtext thing. It's commenting on some crazy themes and in the weirdest way I've ever seen. And I walked out of it being like, I think 2 out of 3 of those short films were very good, and I'm very confused by the other one.
You're saying this is from the guy who made Poor Things?
Yeah, so yeah.
Didn't that, like, just come out?
Yeah, so he finished Poor Things and went straight into this, and then was just like, another movie for you guys. You want to release this one as well? And they were like, okay, cool.
And both with Emma Stone? Wow.
Both with Emma Stone, yeah. But Jesse Plemons is in this one as well. He's like a co-lead with Emma Stone.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, he's Todd from Breaking Bad. He's the creepy guy. Trying to think of all the other stuff he's been in. He's in 3 Billboards. What else has he been in? He's been in loads of stuff.
My mind's gone blank. He's in Power of the Dog. He's in...
Yes, that's right. Civil War. He shows up briefly as a weird racist.
Yeah, he's in a season of
The good
Fargo.
Civil War or the bad one?
Huh?
The good Civil War or the bad one?
What's the bad one?
I don't know. I haven't seen
Yeah,
it.
I know. I thought that was on your watch list. I thought you wanted to see it.
It is. I actually want to watch it, yeah, but I haven't seen it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nathan, your recommendation, please.
To find out who Jesse Plemons is, I guess. But also, I am going to recommend... now, I said I wouldn't until I finished it, and it hasn't finished yet, but I can't think of anything else. So I'll recommend The Acolyte, okay?
Okay.
So, it's Star Wars, but it's before Star Wars, and I'm enjoying it. It's good.
Star Wars before Star Wars.
It's Star Wars before Star Wars. It's good. There's hot Sith. There's it's pretty much all you need, to be honest.
There's a time of recording, an episode came out today. I had to text you about and say, like, did they murder like Darth Vader or some shit? Like, because apparently no, it's an episode. I've not heard much about the show, but apparently the most recent episode is like diabolical in terms of like people's reaction to it, but I haven't seen a single second of it, so I wouldn't know.
There's literally nothing in that episode that justifies that reaction.
Okay, that makes sense for Star Wars fans, to be fair.
Like
just a lot of noise over.
Yeah. Like every week they're just like, this breaks canon, and like, shut up, it's fine.
Yeah,
you
no
know?
one
It's-
but you cares about this.
Yeah, it's great. No, it's genuinely great, and enjoyable. It's by Leslie Headland, who made Russian Doll, which I haven't seen, but I've heard good things about.
I've heard of Russian Doll, yeah.
And yeah, it's a very well put together series. It's a mystery, and like each week it keeps. She described it as like an onion. Like each week, like a new layer is peeled back and stuff. So it's very in that vein. Great performances. The guy from Squid Game is the main guy from Squid Game is in it, who learned English for the role as well. And he's amazing. Who else is in it? There was someone else big in it. I can't remember.
The girl from Logan's in it?
Oh, Carrie-Anne Moss is in it. The girl from Logan is in it. Daphne Keane. Yeah. It's good. It's well
Carrie-Anne
cast.
Moss is in it?
Carrie-Anne Moss is in it, yeah.
Huh.
Trinity herself. She's a Jedi.
Fuck.
Yeah.
I hadn't heard about that.
She's got a lightsaber and everything.
That makes sense.
There's a Wookiee Jedi with a shaved head.
A shaved head Wookiee. What does that look like?
He's got like a Wookiee, but with a shaved head.
Okay, yeah, okay.
So there you go.
Lovely. Well, in that case, thank you very much for listening. If you've enjoyed the show, you can give us a little 5-star review. That'd be very cool. You can follow us on Twitter at Another Happy Pod. That's where you can suggest a little topic for us to check out if you're so inclined. And be sure to join us next week, because we are obviously going to be continuing Suck Your Lie and doing a bit of this.
When will your father die? With due respect.
No.
Obviously.
Yeah, no. Obviously, hugely looking forward to my father dying.
What's that?
It's me trying to do a theme song, but it's not really.
Sounded nothing like it.
Yeah, I know, but it was in my head. Okay.
Okay. Catherine, you do a podcast. I don't know if you're aware of this.
I do, yes. Yes. It's called Missing Mystic Falls Vampire Diaries Rewatch Podcast. When this goes out, Lawrence is going to be on the next episode. So, huge times.
How exciting. I can't wait.
I feel very
I wonder if any revelations will come up about what kind of food you enjoy.
I texted you. I texted him about this. Anyway, save the gold. This is if you want to hear what this is about, the context is on Missing Mystic Falls. Where can the good people find your podcast? Where can they follow you?
Over on Twitter at Miss Mystic Pod, or on Instagram at Missing Mystic Falls Pod.
Lovely stuff. Go give it a listen. It is a very fun time. Nathan, we also have another podcast. Greedy of us.
We do. How like the billionaires, fucking hell, I can't even talk. Like the billionaires we are, hoarding podcasts, like they hoard the wealth.
Yeah.
Yes, it's called Still Got Legs. It's a Doctor Who rewatch podcast where every week we watch and discuss an episode of Doctor Who. We're making our way through the Cum saga. It's a great fun time. The word cum was said 128 times, I think, in our last episode. So we're gonna go for broke. We're gonna go for gold. Next episode and try to beat that record. So let's see if we can. Yeah, it's a good fun time.
It is.
And well, yeah, go on.
It is a good fun time. And if you do feel so inclined, we do have a Ko-Fi link in the show notes if anyone wants to help us out with the running of both of those shows. Obviously, zero pressure. Everyone is still very welcome to enjoy the episodes for free. And all that being said, thank you very much for listening. We will see you next Friday at 10 a.m. for a bit more Succuli sessions. Felt weird.
That was weird. Let's all just sit in that for a second. Let's make that a little bit more
fantastic.
Awkward.
Brilliant.
Okay, there we go. Bye.
Bye.